Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD StarCraft, and I'm here to bring you guys Game 2 between my cousin, the Pho Special, and I think that's what I'll title this cast, the Pho Special versus PainUser, and PainUser, the red Terran, at the bottom left-hand corner of the map. A special match to me because these two guys very close, and I thought it was a pretty good series, so hope you guys enjoy Game 2. The current score, 1-0 in favor of the Zerg player, and it looks like the map will be Daybreak. And we'll see what happens here with PainUser. Going with the supply depot at the front door, you know, I do think that PainUser plays a very strong game. Last game, super solid, man. The only thing is, I think maybe in that last game, the macro just a little bit slipping, because when you saw the army of the Zerg, it was maxed, slamming in at multiple occasions. Baby Pho was bringing in attacks at all different angles, man. He was attacking the third, he was attacking the natural. I remember watching this game and my jaw was dropping because I saw how much damage and how aggressive the Zerg was getting, and it really started, I think, to get to PainUser. And unfortunately, at the point where it became the late game, those Broodlords really were the nail in the coffin. By the time PainUser started to move out, he kind of hit that wall of Broodlords and was like, damn, I don't have Vikings out yet. I have to fall back my whole army. I don't think at any point PainUser really did enough damage to the Zerg. Never really hurt the Zerg in any way. And that was kind of reflected in the drone to SCV count. I think it was something crazy like 50 to 1. So we'll see. Hopefully PainUser can inflict a little more damage this game and even out the odds a bit. Currently, the CAPM 300 to 70, and that of course just showing PainUser not really worried about spamming at all, but the Zerg totally on the spam point right now. Also, nice little icon right here, the BlizzCon 2011 icon. I guess you got that for going to BlizzCon. I never registered my badge, so unfortunate for me, but I missed the goodies. And looks like we will have a hatch first coming out of the Zerg. That's pretty common. That's to be expected in Zerg versus Terran. You will almost always see Zerg go for that fast hatchery, but what you really want to see from the Terran, which can be interesting, is will they go for CC first, or will they go barracks into CC, or maybe barracks factory for Hellion production? Obviously, we're not going to see Command Center first this time, but the one thing I think that's kind of phasing a little bit out of popularity is Barracks Factory Hellion play into expansion. And the reason for that is because Queens, with their new range upgrade, are so wildly effective against Hellions, man. If you have, say, 2, 3, maybe even 4 Queens, really depends on your playstyle, your personality, if you will, you can hold off Hellions indefinitely. I mean, the Queen range is ridiculously strong. Even some Zergs saying that, you know, it might just get nerfed down from 5 range to 4 range. So we shall see what happens, but I really do think Hellions are kind of losing their edge a little bit in this matchup. At least, you know, the early Hellion harass. It almost seems like it's impossible to get in to get any scouting information, and it's damn near impossible to get any drone kills. So we'll see. That's my take on it. But we do have that same exact build coming out from PainUser, so we'll see if he can make it effective. He also has a command center coming on the low ground, and the factory now getting that reactor core originally built by the barracks, and a quick starport to come after that as well. And he's only got 1 gas, so I don't think he's going to get cloak, but he does have the tech lab coming, and you know, he can still make the cloakless Banshee, which can be somewhat mildly effective against Zerg. But for the same reasons that the Queen has become so great against ground, it can still be very good against air. Obviously, it doesn't get the range upgrade for air, but with so many Zergs now making additional Queens because they're that damn good, then all of a sudden you've got to deal with more Queens when you bring that Banshee in. And I think that is something that you have to watch out for as Terran. If you go for Banshee Hellion, it can be wildly countered by just the basic bear unit, the Queen. So you will have to be very careful. PainUser now building extra bunkers, actually just 1 bunker and engineering bay at the front. I remember talking to him after the last match, and he told me, you know what, he knows how to beat my cousin. I was kind of laughing at this point because I just love watching, you love watching your 2 friends play, you're so invested in the game. But I remember listening to that, and he was like, you know what, he just plays so aggressive. All you have to do to beat him is just build bunkers, play super conservative, even more conservative than before, and just wall off everything. Extra bunkers doesn't hurt. And so that's what he told me, a little insider insight for you guys out there. And we shall see. And I remember at this point, my cousin was like, man, think I'm just gonna cheese him. So we do have a Baneling Nest on the way, and Roach Horn, Roach's Zerglings, and Zergling Speed about to finish, so it is gonna be a Baneling Roach all in from the Zerg player. And that can do a lot of damage, obviously, but remember, as I said, PainUser was very, very cautious about this game. He actually told me before, you know, I'm going to play so conservative, I even think he's going to cheese me. So he was really prepared for the cheese. But one thing as well that's kind of nice is Banshees are also very good against Roaches and, well, Banelings, because they can't hit air. But you do need... you do have to worry because a lot of Roaches and Banelings can just completely run by the Banshee, and the Banshee really can't do enough damage to stop all this attack. But we'll see what happens here as the Zerg is coming in with Zerglings on the ground, and the Roach is coming as well to follow suit. It is the Pho Special right now, and some of you guys who may eat pho know all about it. It is the Pho Dak Biet. We shall see if this is going to be it right here. He's coming in, bringing in the hot soup, and will PainUser be able to hold here? He's got to get the Marines inside the bunker. He does just have it. The Banelings detonating oh so gloriously on those bunkers, or devastatingly, depending on your point of view. I guess I'm a little Zerg biased here, but damn, those Zerglings and Roaches are inside the mineral line right now. Will PainUser be able to hold it? He's got to lower the supply depot, but now it's at the point where do I lower it and let Zerglings maybe run inside, or do I just hold position out here and hope they don't die? Looks like he's chosen the latter. Orbital Command is now lifted off so it doesn't die. I was a little worried there. I thought he was going to let it fall, and it looks like he will hold on at the ramp with those Banshees, able to finally eliminate all the Roaches out of play, but did he take so much damage that he has suffered an irrevocable loss? And we'll see 8 workers killed for the Zerg against the Terran. I don't think he lost so much that he can't come back from this game, guys. That would be my initial judgment call. I mean, he didn't lose Orbital Command, which is the biggest point here. He's remuling to catch back up in economy. Thankfully, he had a bunker at the front, but he's got to worry because more Zerglings are coming in right now. It looks like Baby Pho is not going to give up. He picks off the 2 mules, or was it just one? Picks off a mule at least, and that's a nice little play. Didn't really lose anything but a Zergling for that. Got to worry, though, because the Banshees are still on the field. And this is how the Terran recovers from a play like that. He suffers some economic losses, he can remule in the background, and meanwhile with these Banshees, maybe deny the 3rd expansion. If he can deny the 3rd, what a big play that can be. And will it go down? Indeed, it looks like right now the hatchery is morphing. Of course, you cannot transfuse a morphing hatchery, and it looks like Baby Pho will have to cancel. Cancels at the last second as a final rocket volley is coming down, recuperating those resources, and that is exactly what PainUser wanted to do. That is how he's going to get back in this game. Hold the line and do damage with his whatever offensive units he can. And limiting the Zerg on 2 bases instead of 3 is a big play right then and there. And right now it looks like Baby Pho trying to get a Spire up. Knows he's going to need Mutas to combat the Banshees. Banshee's trying to fly in here. Got to be careful though, PainUser. If you take one more shot on that Banshee, it will go down. It's only got 5 HP, and nothing in the game does less than 5 damage. So that Banshee's pretty much a one-shot wonder here. He's going to try to fly around the backside here. Maybe pick a couple more drone kills off, and that's so good. And any more drones he can get here evens up the odds. Because remember, guys, he lost 11 workers. Any other workers he can get here just to tie up the score, get it a little closer, is going to help so immensely as both players kind of reset after the all-in. And it happens, you know, it's a rare occurrence. You'll see the all-in from, you know, players from time to time, but rarely do you see the all-in to the point where it does enough damage, but not enough. If it doesn't do enough, obviously the all-in loses. The all-in-er loses, I guess. But if it does enough, then they win. Rarely does it do just enough, you know, the Goldilocks zone just right so that both players can reset, and that's what we have here. Kind of a reset of the game. Baby Pho getting a 3rd hatchery over at the 3 o'clock, re-getting that actually as he lost the original to that Banshee harass, and he's now converting over to Mutalisk. He actually had a lot of gas banked up, so that's good. Let's take a look on his upgrades. Looks like he's got +2 melee attacks, finishing up now for, or starting up now for his Zerglings. And so his upgrade's actually pretty far behind. Can't blame him though, considering he did go for an all-in in the beginning of the game. Meanwhile, PainUser's stack actually wildly ahead here, man. He is on, well, maybe not wildly ahead, but he does still have siege tanks and, of course, those Banshees out in the air. So he's got the tech tree up there. He just doesn't have all the upgrades yet, but he's starting it. +1/+1, and Stim Pack coming right now. Picks off the Overlord that was pooping creeps of the command center. excuse me, the orbital command can land. And it looks like Baby Pho maybe posturing outside with some Zerglings and Banelings, thinking about making an attack over here to that orbital command, but meanwhile, flying in with those Mutalisks and catching PainUser before he could get turrets up, but it looks like able to get it up maybe just barely in time, maybe a few seconds late, but he didn't lose too many SCVs as a result. But this is what a really good, I think, high-level Zerg can do. He can attack multiple locations at once, and you know, hey, if the army is down there, I can go ahead and attack up here to the third. Unfortunately for him, there wasn't much of a population to harass, but he can pick off the missile turrets and clear the way for Mutalisks. Meanwhile, the Mutalisks coming in and picking off reactor cores. Oh, that's so devastating. And essentially killing a reactor is like killing a full-on barracks. You limit the Marine production immensely, and he picks off the tech lab, researching combat shields. I believe that was combat shields that just got canceled. Big loss right there for the Terran player. And those mutas, man, so effective. As a harass unit, you fly in, you do damage, you dart in and out, and especially you can force Marines to come back home, and that opens up an avenue to attack over to the third command center, and we can see the Zerg preparing to do just that. Gotta be careful though, because he cannot lose too many Mutalisks. Meanwhile, PainUser sieging up at the front, trying to scramble his Marines into the right positions, but he's losing the Banshee now, and he's gonna lose a tank as well. Oh man, every unit here, such huge gas units, big investments just flushed down the toilet, and he's got to be more careful with his tanks and Banshees. Obviously tanks, they're a little bit more, you know, static, you can't move them, but nevertheless, gotta be careful with those units, man. And now Pho, emboldened by killing off all those gas units, is just gonna shove everything into PainUser. PainUser trying to evacuate the SCVs here. Will he be able to hold? Tank goes down though. Another tank in danger of falling in. And wow, Pho is just running over the third location. PainUser falls back all the way to more tanks, so thankfully he had more tanks in the backup. And will he be able to keep this orbital command alive? It is taking a little bit of damage, but the Marines quickly stimming to come to save it. Zergling's running away here, and it looks like Baby Pho will pull back. But I think that was a successful attack there. While he didn't, you know, kill a lot of SCVs, nor did he kill the orbital command off, he did trade pretty effectively with the Terran player. And, you know, that all comes down to a lot of people don't know, you know, when to attack. That all came down to Pho realizing, hey, I've killed off a couple tanks here. I've killed off a Banshee there. I'm really not going to get a better window of opportunity to go in than there. And here's another great opportunity when the tank is actually messed up. I think it must have been a messed up rally point or something, because that tank just went down to hell. And oh man, that was not good at all. Baby Pho coming in with the Mutas now and really pushing PainUser to the limit, just scrambling all over the map. Can't figure out a way to hold off the constant wave of aggression, but it is, you know, like I said, spurred on by the tank losses and Banshee losses. Another tank. Man, the tank rally point for some reason messed up. Oh, it's the command center and the missile turret, too fat for tanks to squeeze on through. PainUser not happy at all. I would not be either. And man, that is 2 tanks at least that have gone down, maybe 4 or 5 total this game that have fallen. Only 1 siege tank in the game, that's the one right there. It will probably go down here as well. And all the Zerglings and Banelings shoving their way inside. Deep penetration right there for Baby Pho. And it looks like he is going to make his way over to the third orbital command. Nowhere for these SCVs to run away to. Unless they just go off to no man's land, but oh, even the mules deciding to commit suicide rather than die to Banelings. I guess that's a more honorable way to die if you take it like that. And now Baby Pho comes into the cleanup duty with the Mutalisks. Knows he's got a huge advantage now. Can't really fight against Marines though without the Zergling backup, but the Zerglings and Banelings can chase away Marines at least long enough for the Mutas to do critical damage, enough to detonate that orbital command in the skies. And the aggression onslaught continues from the Zerg player, continuing to just re-rally more Zerglings and Banelings. Will PainUser be able to recover in this game? Now taking so much damage. Let's just take a look at the lots tab. 12,000 to 11,000, and really, you play Zerg against Terran, it's never a good thing when Terran loses more than Zerg. So PainUser really in a bind right here, trying to get things back together, but he's still under attack by more Zerglings and Banelings. I don't know if he can hold here, guys. And all the Banelings are detonating everywhere. And this has got to be it for PainUser, but I've seen PainUser pull some serious magical rabbits out of the hat before. Can he hold on here? His micro is one of the best in the world, but is it enough to deal with the macro, the aggression of the Zerg player, Baby Pho? And like I said, it's a Pho Special, man. Can he hold on? It looks like another command center falls. Bunker will die as well. Just a ragtag, pitiful band of Marines here, but he holds on to his bases. He holds on to the natural, just barely. And it looks like he was able to get these Marines finally on the offensive. They were just kind of idling along for a long time. Can he get the hatchery? No, he can't. And that was something he so desperately needed. That was really a potential big play. But maybe he can go behind the third here, eke out a little bit of drone damage. Anything he can do right now will help out, but it's just too far away, too hard to get back in, and he surrenders to Baby Pho a second time in a row. So now it is 0-2 in favor of the Zerg, my cousins. So we'll see what happens. This is a best of 5, and I wouldn't be casting these games if they were not very entertaining and good. So I hope you guys stick around, because Game 3 is coming up next, and it is going to be pretty awesome to watch. I'll see you guys there. This is HD signing out.